It was the evening of Passover, and Jesus wanted to celebrate with his friends. So he told two of them to go find a man who was carrying a bucket of water. They would lead him to a place in an upper room where they can all gather together and share the Passover meal. So they went. All of them gathered around the table. Jesus wanted to spend time with his closest friends. While he was there, and while they were all celebrating, he picked up the cup and said, "This is my blood. All of you are part of this. I'm not going to have wine until I'm with my Father, but this is the cup of my blood." And then he took bread and he said, "This is my body. I give it to you. Eat and remember me." The apostles started talking amongst themselves. They weren't quite sure what was going on or why Jesus was saying these things. And they got into an argument, and they wanted to know from Jesus who he thought was most important. Jesus looked at his followers. He was a little disappointed, and he said, "Kings and leaders, they have these conversations all the time, but they don't realize that the most important among us are the ones that are the lowest, the humblest. And the ones who are the humble are the most exalted." He told them he would be betrayed that night. He didn't tell them who, but it left a bad feeling with the rest of the people there. After the meal, Jesus asked his two closest followers if they would come with him. He wanted to go out and pray. Of course they'd go, they said. So off they went with Jesus. And while he was off praying, his followers fell asleep. Jesus prayed to God, "I don't want to do this. I don't want to die. I don't want to leave people, but I know it's how you want this to happen, how we know it's supposed to happen. Please give me the strength for what's going to happen." Jesus came back and he saw his followers asleep on the ground. And he said, "Get up. Can you not spend even a few minutes? I said that I needed you to be with me, and you just fall asleep?" Jesus was not pleased. While they were talking, Judas came and gave Jesus a kiss. He brought the Pharisees and their guards. Jesus' followers were very upset and cut off the ear of one of the men. And Jesus said, "No, don't do that." And he healed them. He said, "You are here for me. I will go." And Jesus went with the Pharisee. When they got to the palace, Peter was warming himself with everybody else. He had told Jesus that he would go with him. He would go to jail. He would do everything with him. But Peter was not that brave. A little girl saw Peter. "I know who you are," she said. "You were following Jesus." No, Peter said. "You mistake me." No, I know. You're the one with Jesus." "No, get away from me. You don't know what you're talking about." "I'm sure," she said. "You were the one with Jesus." Just then, Jesus turned and looked at Peter. He had told Peter that he would betray him 3 times, and it had happened. Peter was so sad. Jesus went with the palace guards, and they mocked him, and they teased him, and they got him ready for his trial.